Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Asgardians of the Galaxy, issue number 6. I want to point out that it suddenly just dawned on me that you got 7 members of this team, and they're on the ship, and they're lost in the sea of space. And then in this issue, they land on this strange, seemingly undiscovered land. Okay, is this not Gilligan's Island in space? Please tell me this is not just supposed to be Gilligan's Island in space. I swear to God, if Cullen Bunn just comes forward and says, okay, fine, the inspiration came a little bit from Gilligan, I'd be like, thank you, because it's a huge weight off of my chest. I swear to God, that's exactly what this is. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I just almost feel like there should be a little bit more humor in the book. All right, let's get started on this. All right, we got Cullen Bunn on writing, if I didn't already spoil that. Guest artist Matteo Buffani, color artist Federico Blee, who I imagine pretty soon is going to wind up being a regular pencil artist in Marvel pretty soon. At least I'm hoping for it. VC's Corey Petit on letters, cover artist Jamal Campbell, and editors and people like that. Y'all go do your own thing. Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman created Angela. So, boom, baby. Yeah, these guys are in space, this Gilligan's Island team. They're in space and they're trying to escape from the Nova Corps, who is after them because they've got one of the most powerful weapons in the universe at the moment, and that's the Naglfar beacon, which can call upon the Naglfar fleet. This extremely powerful, just unseemingly billions of undead gods on these gigantic ships, apparently made from fingernails. We're going by standard Norse mythology, who will then go forth and destroy anybody that you point your finger at. So, using a little trickster magic from a young agent of Asgard, formerly agent of Asgard Loki, they're able to escape. Now, the location of the planet that they're able to escape to, crash land on, I can't actually tell you because it is the crux of the entire story. And I'm not here to give you spoilers, so I'm just not going to do that to you. When you figure before you turn the page and see the actual reveal, I think most of us will get it by what they say on the final panel before the last page. So, and it's a full page splash. I actually kind of like step back a little bit. First off, the art. There are going to be people who, and I'm one of them, who's going to complain about the art in this. It's very liney. Right? It's all about the outlines of the characters as opposed to the characters themselves and the definition of the characters. I'm going to point out, friendships and whatever aside, the facial features of the characters depend more on the colors than they do on the pencils or the inks. And that takes a bit to actually get used to. It's a little weird. There are times when there's an exception, like this guy, but most of the guys, you'll notice that it's actually the colors that determine the features. So, anyway, as you can see by that picture, what do you call it? What the frick is this guy's name? Yondu. Jeez, how the hell do I forget Yondu? But it's not the actual Yondu from the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Rather, it's the movie version of Yondu from the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is interesting because the original Guardians of the Galaxy Yondu is from the 31st century. This is from the main, or not the main timeline, the present day timeline in the Earth 616 universe, which is a different version of Yondu. So it's weird, but if you've been paying attention to the comic books for the past couple of years, you'd know that. If not, just giving you an idea. This is not the original, fire an arrow off of a bow and just and then it, veers around and hits you. No, this is the guy who could just, blast you with a pistol. And anyway, so I'm not a huge fan of this version, but I am honestly happy to see him back in the comic books because, yeah, I haven't seen him in a bit. Maybe I just haven't been reading the correct comic books. Anyway, by the time you get to the end of the book, it's fun. Like the last page of the book is probably the coolest page of the book. It also looks like it's the part of the comic book where the most time was devoted to the art, the actual pencils and ink work of the book. That's not necessarily a bad thing. if there's a special guest artist, it probably means that there was a delay. And again, I'm not a Marvel insider. What the hell do I know? I'm just some jackass on YouTube who reads comic books. I can acknowledge that. But common sense, a special guest artist probably means that there was a last minute, oh crap, the other guy ain't going to make it. He's busy. So, hey, could you know what I'm saying? So that's probably what happened here. So I can't really complain too much about the art. I can complain about what I'm reading, but as far as the why it happened, I can just let that go. I like that it ended on a boat. You got to admit, the beginning of a book is kind of important. The middle of the book, yeah, of course, we all enjoy that. So it'd be in a perfect world. But as long as it ends on a good note, well, it's self-explanatory. Ends on a good note. There's an intrinsic understanding there. So I did really like the last page. That was cool. I'd like to show you the image for the next page, or excuse me, for the next cover. But that's for issue 7, but I just can't. One thing I'm going to notice, though, is that I feel that besides Thor, most of what we're going to understand in the realm of the War of Realms is going to be told here. So, of course, Thor, with a lot of interruptions. We got, what's it say here? 2 more months. 2 more months before War of Realms shows up. I feel like most of that's going to be here. And in Thor, if they're actually going to get to the stories, because there's too much of this whole father and son, Odin and, Thor talking about, well, hey, Dad, I was really bothered by you. Well, son, I know I wasn't the best dad. Like, dude, what the frick is going on? And while you'd figure Avengers, that is written by the same writer, Jason Aaron, there's more of a distraction thrown in there. You still see hints of what's going on, but there are more distractions being thrown in. They're good distractions, though. The War of the Vampires is holy crap so far. But I feel, again, if you're really, really interested in the War of Realms and what's going on, I feel like this book is what's most going to be showing that. So, yeah, Asgardians of the Galaxy. I feel like this is the, surprise. This is what's going to be it. But yeah, anything that actually shows the banner on top of the dressing, I think that's where you really got to go to find out all of the War of the Realms stuff. It's promising to be big. It's promising to be epic. And the idea that Jason Aaron has been writing this ever since he reintroduced Malekith into the Earth 616, which was, God, was that 2012? I remember it was like my second year, maybe my third year in Saudi Arabia when I started reading about it. Still couldn't read the comic books because I was overseas. But, yeah, so it was around 2012, maybe 2013 that he's been planning this. I'm just saying, a 5 to 6 year plan, that sounds pretty damn epic to me. Anyway, that's going to be all. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.